Wednesday afternoon, time for the Best Ball Bash and the randomizer draft. Of course, we're starting off with the Bash, which means one of you guys in the chat right now using the hashtag Join the Bash is going to win a spot to come on stream with me and draft a Best Ball Mania team that you will have an equity share in, a 50-50 split with me. We did our first one last week with Neil Farley. It was awesome. And then immediately following the Best Ball Bash, we have the randomizer draft with my old friend Denny Carter. We'll be swinging by, have not done a randomizer with him or a show in a while. So that will be a very fun time. Unfortunately, no intro music yet. We're working on the Best Ball Bash intro music, but I see the hashtags flowing here in the chat. If you guys want to hop on stream with me now to draft and you're available and you have access to decent mic and camera, then drop the hashtag Join the Bash here. I'll get it up on screen. And in a couple of minutes, we will spin the wheel here to see who's going to be joining me today. Here it is. We got 18 entries right now. I think last week we had 23 who ended up making it. So we'll let some of the stragglers trickle in here. You only need to do the hashtag once. It will get your name in there once you've done it once. We got Tanner who said he put this on his work calendar. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. We need Gritty to join the Bash. I would love that. I would love that. I don't know if Gritty is a YouTube member. I did once famously invite him on After Dark, and he stood me up. I still haven't fully gotten over it yet. But yes, I would welcome Gritty with open arms, assuming he went through the same democratic process as all of you guys here. The most nervous part of Pete's week. Yes, I wrote about this in my P.O. Box newsletter this past week, that I love the butterflies, the pit in my stomach that I get from doing a show like this where there are so many unknowns. And it took me back to my improv days where I used to get that pit in my stomach before every show. So yes, I love feeling those warm, fuzzy feelings. Although Neil made it easy on me last week. You know, Neil, he's done shows before. He's a good drafter. You know, that was on easy mode. So maybe one of you guys can put it on hard mode for me today. What is up, Steven? What's up, Stephanie? What's up, Katie? We got Michael joining the Bash here. We'll give it a few more minutes here to make sure everybody gets a chance to hop on. Let's see what draft this will be for me. We can also review the team from last week from Neil here, see if it's aging gracefully or not. Let's see. I also can, I like the idea if I can put the overlay up here, and then it's like, who's going to be here? Who's going to be here next to me? If I can find, where's the right overlay? There we go. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. Your face. I need like a placeholder right here that says your face could be here. We're up to 22 entries. Keep them coming. Hashtag join the Bash if you're able to draft. I believe the team Neil and I drafted last week was pretty good. Pretty good. Where is it? Number 26. So this will be my 32nd draft. We had a Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Trevion Henderson, Tony Pollard, Tyrone Tracy, Travis Etienne. That Etienne pick aging gracefully after Liam Cohen was gushing about him recently. Zach Charbonnet, Blake Corum, Puka, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Travis Hunter, Brandon Ayuk, Romeo Dobbs, Jalen Knoll, Dallas Goedert, Dalton Schultz, and Tyler Higbee. Pretty cromulent team there from Neil and myself. And I will also offer, you know, Neil, we just drafted off of ADP. You know, if you come on and you have your own ranks, they do need to be in a CSV. I'm not going to be able to manually create your ranking set for you. But if you come on here, you have your own ranks, or if you want to use any other ranks, I'm happy to oblige. Ones that I have access to, I got ETR ranks, I got Leg Up ranks, we got RotoViz ranks, we got Fantasy Life ranks. So if there's a ranking set you want to use, we can make that happen as well. MJ, what's the best way to reach you about a potential collaboration? Yeah, just keep sending me money with all of your requests. That's the best way. You can send me an email. Contact@Peter Overzet is probably the best way. Contact@PeterOverzet.com. Okay. Yeah, you got to send $100 super chat. Let's see here. All right, we're up to 24 entries here. This is when we did the drawing last week at about this time, 5 minutes in. I want to make sure we have enough time to meet our guests, do our draft, and of course, get Denny off to the races at 2 p.m. So here we go. Without further ado, we are going to spin here for our bash winner. Let's do it. Big money, big money, big money. Who's it gonna be? I see some familiar faces. I see some. Oh, Pat Moore Poker. All right. Pat Moore, who I believe just became a member earlier today. I know Pat has been in the ship chasing Discord before. I can't remember if I've met Pat or not at a ship chasing event. He will have to let us know. Pat, what is the best way for me to get you this invite? Can you DM me on Twitter or Discord and I can send this to you? Yeah, just let me know the best place to send this. Send me a DM somewhere so I have you there. Clay did get the slow roll. So you guys can form a support group because last week Willis was the one who got slow rolled. I need to talk to StreamYard about like the glitch in it where it's like, oh, is it going to be me? Is it going to be me? It's like when you're on, what is it? Price is Right. And it's the wheel is just spinning and it does that one extra click and breaks hearts in the process. All right. You're going to DM me on Discord. Sounds good. I will keep an eye out for it. You're going to get your mic set. Sounds good. Sounds good. If you guys did not win, like I say each week, I'm going to be doing this every week. Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Eastern. I did get some feedback. I know some people are not available to draft a Best Ball Bash team at 1 p.m. Eastern on a Wednesday. I do have plans to maybe flex one of these to a night slot at some point this summer. So if you like the idea, you want to be in the mix, but you can't necessarily draft at 1 p.m. Eastern on a Wednesday, I do plan to maybe flex one or two of these to different time slots to try to accommodate people. But yeah, the schedule's tight. So just trying to make everything work here. Greg is planning on next week. There you go. Ben, I was ready to flex the steak tacos I just made for lunch. Man, you are killing me because I have not eaten yet today. I was hoping to sneak in a bite before the show, but then I had back-to-back meetings and I wasn't able to eat. So even hearing the word steak tacos right now is making me salivate. And it was yesterday. It was right before we going on off and on the clock. Nez and someone on Twitter were talking about the Taco Bell Lux box and how you could, build out this insane assortment of Taco Bell menu items for like $6 and 1,700 calories. And I hadn't eaten lunch then either. And I was starving. Or no, I had eaten lunch. I'd had a bland salad. And the talk about Taco Bell was about to break me. So please no more discussions about food in the chat. I'm begging you. I'm a vulnerable man right now who only has water. All right. The link has been sent to Pat. So we will we'll get ready to meet Pat here and draft a Best Ball Mania team. JMG says, I just brushed my teeth for nothing. I love that. I love that. It's because that's one of the biggest issues facing streamers today is they welcome these randos onto the stream and the bad breath just kills the mojo. Casey says his partner Katie did her hair for the last hour for this. Man, I am sorry. Now I feel bad. What kind of meetings, Pete? How's business? It was a Fantasy Life meeting, had a Fantasy Life company meeting, and then I had a meeting with the Badge Bros. We were talking about some stuff. So yeah, business is doing well, brother. Ben says he did a report in 8th grade about how the breakfast crunch wrap was 2,800 calories and have never ate Taco Bell since. That's incredible. An 8th grade report about crunch wrap. Man, I remember how the Wild West of doing like book reports and profiles when you were a kid. The very first one I remember doing, and it was when we had just gotten our first computer. It was a Gateway computer. I was in 8th grade and I did a biography on Michael Jordan, just me pecking away on my Gateway computer. But enough of the nostalgia. We are welcoming our Bash winner to the stage. It's none other than Pat Moore Poker. Real quick, have we ever met in IRL?
We have not met yet.
Okay.
Is my mic okay?
Yeah, your mic sounds good. You got
Okay, cool.
the Taco Bell drive-through mic going on.
I know. I do have like a legit desk mic here, but it's been acting up, so I didn't really want to mess with that.
No, you're doing good. Let's get to know you a little bit more. I mean, your handle is Pat Moore Poker. I assume poker plays a big part in your life right now.
Yeah, so I work full time as a financial analyst. Poker has been a part of my life for forever. And I've done home leagues for fantasy probably since around 2011 and got more into the daily stuff. A couple of years ago, I was following Alvin Zeidenfeld. He stopped doing content, but I did see some of your stuff, more redacted related content, like a couple years ago. And then Al stopped doing content, kind of got introduced to the Underdog dailies through you, and did some best ball drafts last year. I think I finished with maybe 10 BBMs, did a bunch of puppies, but this year I'll definitely be doing a lot more.
Love it. Yeah, and I know I've seen you around the ship chasing Discord. Do you head out to Vegas to play the series?
Not as much as, a professional would. They'll go as of last week and stay through July. I'll be out there maybe for a week in early July, around the 4th.
Nice.
Just play some tournaments. Nice. Yep.
And if people what should they be bracing for? What is your draft style? I'm obviously going to let you, take the wheel here, dictate the picks. What kind of, things might people be in for here with this draft?
I'd say this point in the preseason, I'd like to try to build a super team, get some guys that we know will be on the field early, and then just take some dart throws late. With our 16th through 18th round picks, ideally we don't just take those same dart throws everyone else is taking. I'd like to scroll down a bit. Last year, as a Jets fan, took a good amount of Allen Lazard, just knowing, the sentiments were kind of low on him with Zach Wilson the year prior, but the connection should be better with Aaron Rodgers going forward. So I had a good amount of him, and he did pretty well. So just like to get some of those guys that, might be relevant, but no one's clicking. So that's kind of my style.
Do you know who Ron Stewart is?
I'm not familiar with Ron Stewart, no.
Okay. Ron, he's a big YouTuber, fantasy football guy, has done some stuff with us on ship chasing, but he's a Jets fan. And he had a tweet the other day about Allen Lazard, and it just made me think of your comment there. And I have to show it to you because then Jacob Sanderson was in his mentions making fun of him about this. So the initial tweet is from Ron here, and he says, only Jets receiver listed, this is in receiving EPA per game leaders in 2024, is Allen Lazard. And Jets fans will continue to demand he gets released traded. I get he had some bad drops, but the good outweighs the bad. Guy was balling last year, to be honest. And Jacob says, I'm asking you to sit in front of a mirror and say, I just spent my evening Allen Lazard bowl posting in the Big 25 and reflect on what's become of your life and what the Jets have done to your soul. So that triggered that memory for me.
Oh, God, that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm not as high on him this year just because we should be more run heavy than last. But just an example. And one quick shout where you might remember me from is I won your Deposit Kingdom League last year on Redacted, just like the $10 contest.
One of the weekly ones.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. Yeah, what did I shout you out on portfolio review?
You did shout me out, and I'll DM you a quick screenshot of the lineup here.
Good, because I didn't believe you. I thought you were full of shit. I need to see some receipts right now. A lot of people come on this show and tell me they won all this big money. I need to see the receipts, Pat.
I got you.
While you're doing that too, I'll let people know you might not be able to hop on stream and draft with me today, but you can draft a BBM with me. There are a few spots left here, a 20-second BBM clock here that Pat and I are going to draft together. Oh, there it is. Here you go. $2,000. Now you do have an ETR logo here. What do we need to do to get this changed to a Deposit Kingdom, logo on here?
So that was when I was like kind of a noob with the dailies and I was getting into ETR. I don't even know why that was my profile. I almost cropped it out there, but I can easily be swayed. They're not paying me anything. So
that's right. Well, good to hear that you're a free agent. I mentioned at the top. Do you normally draft off of ranks? Do you like doing ADP? What would you like to do for today?
Today, let's just go with ADP. I think that's
cool. Yeah, let me clear the cache here. Have you been drafting? How many BBMs deep are you? I should ask.
So funny story. I am currently suspended from Underdog. And it's for reasons you might not think. So I little things were going well. I'm watching the Badge Bros. I'm finally figuring out the theory behind these contests. Finally get my goat horns in a golf contest. $5 contest, won it for 3,000. And literally all of a sudden I have this bankroll on Underdog. I'm getting kind of bored. It's like a Monday, Tuesday. It's early for golf. NFL's done. The draft hadn't happened yet. So I'm just like firing NBA, but I have no idea what I'm doing and just like slowly leaking bankroll. I did take off like 2,000 of the 3,000. So like I'm like in the black for all that. But like I think I lost maybe $500 to $800 in NBA. So I messaged support and I was like, hey, so I don't know if you're familiar with poker clients, like playing online poker, but you've got your tournaments, you got your cash games.
Hang on real quick. I want to make sure you get
we're on the clock.
Pick.
Yeah.
So
let's go Puka. Puka for sure.
Back to the story.
Okay, back to the story. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with Puka there. So back to the story. In a poker client, you've got tournaments, you've got cash games, you've got the casino, you've got sports, and you've got this little tab in there in settings where you can remove casino, you can remove sports betting if you're kind of a degen and you just don't want it to even be in your site. So I messaged support and I was like, hey, is there any way to remove NBA from the Underdog app?
As a joke.
I know this sounds ridiculous.
Or seriously, or as a joke, you said that?
Seriously. I was just like, it pops up on my thing and like, I just like flick in some entries because I'm bored and I would just like it for it not to be there because it was just stressing me out, like, especially with work full time. And I like NFL and golf is just way more laid back. Whereas in NBA, like so much news flying and you really need to be on top of it to be sharp. So I was like, I just kind of like want this out of my life. Yeah. And I loved it. It's such a fun sweat. But I messaged support just like, is there any way to remove it? And they didn't really understand what I was asking. And they took it as if I had like a gambling problem.
Yeah.
And this guy named Joaquin from support was like, yeah, like this is like a huge red flag. We're going to look further into this. And then I'm like going back and forth trying to explain the situation. Like, hey, I like follow Pete Overzet and the Badge Bros. And I'm like new to this. I know this is like a ridiculous story, but
no, I think it's good for people to hear.
Yeah. So eventually they get back to me. Okay, we're back on the clock. Let's focus up here. All right. So if this was redacted, I'd be more inclined to go receiver, but with half PPR, running backs do go up a little in value here. Let's go Jonathan Taylor.
Got him in there for you. All right, we got JT. So we got a JT Puka start. Continue the story because I think it's interesting for people.
Sorry, and I don't mean to not be focusing on the draft. I'm happy with the start there.
We'll get dialed in as
we'll dial in.
But keep going.
Long story short, I'm like, man, this stinks. There was like maybe a week or two left of the dinger, and I was getting really into the baseball stuff. Maybe did 10 or 15 dingers at this point, but everyone was talking, oh, there's gonna be overlay because of New York, blah blah blah. And I had just gotten Nez's ranks from the Badge Bros membership.
Yeah.
And then I get this message from support. It's March at this point. They're like, yeah, like we had to flag your account. This was like just very suspicious. And like we take responsible gambling very seriously here, which I respect. And like, we're going to suspend your account till June 25th. And if you try to do anything to get it overturned, we'll possibly extend it even longer. And if you try to sign up in anyone else's names, that's against terms of conduct. So long story short, I've just like sipped my mouth and just been watching a bunch of content from you guys, trying to like just get in the lab and get better at like just the theory behind the games. All right, we're back on the clock. Let's lock in here. So the receiver avalanche is real, and I've been seeing it in a lot of your drafts. So I think we should definitely lock up a receiver here. Yeah, I think Devonta Adams and Puka is going to be so common that I almost rather put Kyron with him. But I'm saying I want a receiver. So
sorry, I was literally trying to adjust your preferences in real time, and the last thing I heard before the clock was Kyron. So we got
I like
Kyron
that. So we'll just hammer a receiver from here. I just feel like so many people are going to be doubling Puka with Devontae, and I just feel like it's a more unique correlation there with the Rams.
Yeah.
And then later on, you can still, backstack a tight end or another receiver.
So I do want to just clarify something. You cannot on your account draft until June 25th.
On my account, no.
Okay. You found the ultimate workaround. It's my money. This is my draft. Pat is just an innocent bystander here, but holy cow. I mean, this is like, when Leone on Best Ball Breakfast, initially he wasn't going to have Underdog in New York. And it's like, hey, well, the only teams I'm going to get to be able to draft are on Best Ball Breakfast. I mean, what a big brain by you to become a member here.
I was so pumped when I won because I was watching the stream last week and I was like, oh shit, I got to get on there because I've been just dying to draft a BBM team.
Well, there you go. You found it. So here we go. We started Puka, JT, Kyron. What did you mention what you do for your day job?
I'm in finance. I work for a company called Gallagher. If you're familiar with Aon or Aetna, it's the same line of business, similar companies.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that, but that sounds it sounds cool, and it gives you enough time to play some DFS.
Let's focus up here though. So definitely have to take a receiver here for sure. I'm happy with our running back. Sorry, we could probably stop on running back for a while. Let's go Travis Hunter. Give us a little rookie upside.
Yep. Any concern about the bye week bros?
Okay, yeah. Go Jameson Williams.
Okay, I didn't mean to become a bye week bro there. I was just getting out in front of it in case, but we'll get Jameson.
No, I think.
Oh, Jameson has a week 8 bye too.
Oh God.
You can run from week 8, but you cannot hide, Pat.
No, you can't hide, and we'll just take the loss that week, I guess. And hopefully we have some guys who could fill in later, but. It's all right. I feel like Travis Hunter is just such a comfortable, easy click there, and I think you guys did it last time, so I'm happy to switch it up a little bit.
Man, this is I was talking about this show, throwing curveballs. I mean, we got a guy who can't draft on Underdog. We're making last second at the buzzer picks, learning about you in real time. I mean, we are absolutely cooking here, and we're only 4 picks in. Puka, JT, Kyron, Jameson Williams.
I love the start. I mean, we panicked a little bit. It's been a little bit scrambly, but we're locked in now, and let's try to get ahead of it now. Just try to look at some guys coming up. And
what do you have any laundry rooting interest? Do you have any players or teams you generally gravitate to?
As a Jets fan, I typically like to hedge the Bills. Like, I know that's not sound logic, but if they fail, I'm pretty happy with it. But they never fail, or at least in recent history. So, but I'm not in love with the options. Like, obviously, Josh Allen's gone. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, so
but in general, I do a lot of Bills, a lot of 49ers. Good amount of Chiefs this year because I feel like they've been kind of devalued for no reason.
Yes. Kittle goes, DK Metcalf, Mixon, Calvin Ridley, Chuba, Addison, Kamara, Rome. Anything stand out to you?
We're at pick 55. I feel like DK is a decent AU. So let's go with DK.
All right, hang on. And I mean, you said it here. One sec. Let me get the screen here. Can you please give for our future montage up here? Can we get an AU?
Got a little DK Metcalf at an ADP value. Ahoo!
Oh, that's going in the intro. That's the good stuff right there. So you've still been drafting a little bit over on Redacted. So you're keeping the muscles sharp, at least.
The muscles are sharp. The ADPs are definitely different on Redacted. I've probably done about 30, 50 drafts on there only because I'm forced to. Hopefully one of the higher ups is watching this and they can understand the whole thing was a misunderstanding and maybe they'll free me sooner, but not begging, not pleading. But yeah, that's where a lot of my volume's been the past couple weeks since the draft.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. And I think you were very smart. I think you're very smart to just not rock the boat. They laid out the rules. You're going to follow the rules, and you're 21 days away. You're 21 days away. And this is like the ultimate little treat, the little appetizer, a little amuse bouche before the drafting floodgates open again for you.
Yeah, this is awesome. Happy to be here.
Puka Nacua, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Jamison Williams, DK Metcalf, the bye week bros in your mentions. We're about to pick at 6-6 here. The classic Joe Burrow slide is occurring. We have other quarterback outs later, Goff, Matthew Stafford. What do you see here on the board? Kamara, Connor, Judy, Laporta, Montgomery, Myers, Judkins.
What I see here is I'm happy with our running back room. We'll go later. Everyone clicks Olave here. I think we go Jacoby Myers if you got time.
Yep, we got it.
He'll never fall back to us. It gives us a little bit of a unique combo with our current guys, because I feel like just it's so easy to click Olave there, maybe go with Burrow, but just that slight reach, you're not losing that much in projection, and I feel like it's just so hard to get Jacoby Myers otherwise. So I'm happy with that.
Yes, and it seems like you like thinking a lot about kind of like uniqueness, whether it's for like reaching for a player or through ADP values. You mentioned the scroll down uniqueness. It sounds like you've been unique pilled in these drafts.
Yeah, I mean, it's not everything. I think we do need to start focusing on some correlation, but especially with those late round picks, like if everyone's clicking.
We didn't look. Do you know what week Jacoby Myers plays? Doesn't play, I should say. You did it, man. The bye week bros are going to cancel this show before we even get to episode 3. Oh, no.
It's all right.
Oh, no.
We'll be up 300 points by week 8, so it's just we could even take a complete 0 and be fine. But it's our 17, 18 picks that no one's going to have that are going to carry us through. It's all good.
We are drafting with Pat Moore, Tyler, Pat Moore Poker. And if you are just tuning in now, you're going to have to go back to the start for an incredible story about his journey with Underdog up to this point. I see no week 8 buys on the screen for top available. I see no quarterbacks. I see no tight ends. I think we'll be okay to make a pick that doesn't put our team in peril. Judkins, Caleb Johnson, Shakir, Diggs, Pollard, Swift, Jones. What do you like?
Let's go Shakir, just based on my Bills talk. Gives us a little more depth at receiver before the Avalanche. There's no reason to take a quarterback right now. We'd be reaching a tight end, and I'm happy with our running back room. I think we just take some darts later.
Yes. Yeah, so we start 5 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Not 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. So you'll break ties in favor of Bills in certain situations because you're so scarred as like a Jets fan, and the fact that they're going to win the division and stomp all over you guys. And this is how you find a little bit of solace, a little bit of peace with that knowledge.
Yeah, it just makes it a little easier to stomach, you know. It's like having Tom Brady in our division for over a decade. You just knew it every season they were going to win the division. Didn't necessarily make their fantasy pieces relevant, but now it's like, okay, our enemy is actually pretty fantasy relevant. So let me just take a Josh Allen, or let me just take a Khalil Shakir. And when they shove it down our throat, you know, I could be happy. Or if they fail, it's like, oh, cool. Like, I hate this team so much. I'm happy they're failing. I know that's not sound logic, but it works out more often than not.
No, I appreciate it. And I think Nez said in the chat earlier, yeah, here it is. Unsound logic of taking the Bills has strong historical success for what it's worth. I mean, 2 of the best drafters on the platform are just absolute egregious Bills homers. There's many such cases. So I think you're in good company there. Although with Khalil Shakir, he doesn't strike me as a guy who's going to like shove it down your throat. It's more death by 1,000 cuts. You know, it's just like little pass here, little pass here. But now he's on your team. And so you're in good shape. All right, we're about to pick at 8-6.
Okay, let's look for some correlation. You got Vikings, you've got Browns, you've got...
Yeah, Pacheco and Brian Robinson are the running backs. No strong correlation.
I'll let you make this correlation pick because I feel like you're strong at that.
Well, let's not pick someone with week 8. I honestly don't see anything like super correlation pilled here at this juncture. You look at our Atlanta or our Ram stuff, that's opposite Atlanta, Jamison Williams is opposite Minnesota. Aaron Jones is gone. DK Metcalf, Cleveland, nothing there. Jacoby opposite the Giants, nothing there. JT opposite the Jags. So I didn't see anything.
I like that pick, though. It seems like, do we have 20 seconds or 30 seconds? It feels like it goes
20.
so fast.
Yes, it is. I think in my perfect world, I need to triangulate it because I'm trying to accomplish two things in that I want to be able to get the draft done and make sure that my guest for the randomizer at 2 p.m. Eastern, like I'm not holding them up, but I also don't want us to necessarily be at a frantic pace. So maybe I'll try to start the draft a little earlier and do a 30-second one next time.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was just wondering why I was going so fast. But I'm happy with that pick. He'll be good for week 8 for sure. And let's see. Yeah, we didn't need to force any correlation. We got a good amount of quarterbacks we can get relatively late.
I think one other thing to think about, of the quarterbacks, obviously Stafford, Goff, Geno are our eligible stack stuff here. So the only other thing would be if like any of these quarterbacks you'd want to set up a backdoor stack with. We're now on the clock. So you got some of the quarterbacks, Cam Scatterbo, Jonnu Smith, Tyrone Tracy, if you want opposite Las Vegas. There's Mark Andrews, Shaheed. Anything stand out?
I'm on the Scatterboys train.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sorry, I know you have so much of them, but nothing else is standing out to me.
Let me give a PSA here for any guest for you, for future guests. You should never concern yourself with my portfolio when you're drafting this team. I want the Pat Moore experience here. I want this team to have your stamp, your fingerprints all over it. You do not have to worry about my exposures.
Yeah, plus gave us the Jacoby correlation, which I like. I feel like it's a little different than the very standard Bowers. What would it be? Malik Neighbors, Bowers.
Yeah, that's obviously a very, and I think that is a good note about correlation. It's like we, you go through the week 17 games and we always kind of gravitate to the most expensive version of those correlations. Same with like the Bengals Cardinals game, right? It's everyone's want to show your McBride and Jamar Chase and Chase Browns. But you can still correlate around a game with the ancillary pieces as well.
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, where is okay, Goff's coming up soon. Like, I don't want to miss out on some of our quarterback stacks. And then tight end, what's the available tight end room looking like?
Yeah, so we're in that. Mark Andrews is kind of the one hanging around in this tier, and then you're kind of into another tier after that. I
would like to get Tyler Warren, maybe possibly to correlate with Jonathan Taylor. And I feel like he's just a little undervalued just because of how he got drafted, but I still view him as the number 1 tight end in the class.
Do you want to just lock up Goff here with?
Yeah. I think we can wait on tight end, but I think Goff, JMO would be nice.
Yeah, it is a really nice value on Bo Nix is sliding in this room, but I think just taking the correlated angle and of course adding another week 8 bye. I mean, we got to continue to do that, right?
Right, and yeah. I'm more inclined to do a naked Bo Nix if I have Chief pieces on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think this one would have been close for me if I was drafting on my own. I think I might have just pulled the trigger on naked Bo Nix, just because like you got Mims. I guess Evan Ingram was off the board. I like Pat Bryant, a fellow Pat there. But yeah, it's a tough decision. The only other thing I would maybe think about in that spot is obviously a non-week 8 bye for Bo Nix and a lot of other, like if we do Stafford, right, which we'd want, that's another week 8 bye. So we're going to have to find a third quarterback that doesn't have a week 8 bye.
What's Geno's bye looking like?
Geno's week 8 bye.
Oh, so God. Bo Nix, I could have been convinced to take a naked Bo Nix there or even backstack with some guys like Pat Bryant, like you were saying.
There's a few other creative things I think we could do, right? Like if we do grab Tyler Warren, we want to do something with the Colts quarterbacks, that's a week 11 bye there to correlate. We also, same thought with Scatterbo. You could do something with Jackson Dart as a third quarterback late week 14. So I think we got some correlated angles that we can navigate.
Yeah, but it's a good point because my mind was thinking we're taking Stafford, Goff, and Geno, but we can't do that because then we'll just get a complete 0 week 8 at quarterback.
We do get Tyler Warren coming back here as our first tight end at pick 127. I'm definitely on board with that, unless there's something else you see here.
I love him. I think he's a great value. I liked Hunter Henry last year. I know he didn't go crazy, but I just feel like in general, I don't know. Sorry, that's not the point I was trying to make, but I just feel like he's going late. He's got Brock Bowers characteristics, and I feel like just because he slid in the draft a little bit, people are a little bit more hesitant to take him. And then also the Colts just haven't been a tight end friendly team for a long time. But like, who have they really had at tight end since Jack Doyle?
No, I like the Warren selection a lot, especially, well, one, we're in the portion of the draft board where the running back and wide receiver values have really dried up. The sweet spot for value is clearly quarterback and tight ends. And if you're doing a 3 late tight end build, which we probably will with our first one coming at pick 127, you want to get some upside in there because it's easy actually to find like some targets. It's easy to find routes, for these late tight ends. There's a lot of guys who are going to be out on the field a ton. But to get like this guy could be a 5th round pick next year upside, there's only a couple of these guys, right? And like Tyler Warren is one of them who could be a 5th round pick next year.
Oh yeah, he's a beast. If you watched him in college last year, he's got that potential to have a 30% target share. Not saying the Colts are necessarily going to lean on him that hard, but it's definitely in the range of outcomes. So I like that a lot.
So we got a 1-4-5-1 build. We're about to pick at 12-6. We're seeing lots of running backs and tight ends here on the board. I think we probably don't do anything at quarterback at this juncture. Probably not do anything at wide receiver unless you like the Hollywood Brown value. He's sliding now 10 picks past ADP.
Yeah, I do like Hollywood this year.
Oh, he goes.
Of course.
Spears, Kraft, Kincaid, Ray Davis, Jake Ferguson, Rashad White, Garendo. Anything stand out?
Maybe Dalton Kincaid just to pair with Khalil Shakir, and then it gives us a little bit more floor at tight end for that Tyler Warren upside.
Yes, we will add him there. You can continue to hedge your Jets fandom. Yes, I did one issue with the name tags is with the way I have my overlay right now. It doesn't display nicely here, unfortunately. It gets a little wonky, but we do have Pat Moore on here. I'll try to find a better way to get this displayed. But Pat is a poker player. He is a man who is technically not allowed to draft right now, but found the ultimate workaround in hopping on. If people want to follow you, are you on Twitter? Do you do any social media if people want to follow up with your thoughts on best ball and everything else?
Yeah, just the way you have it on the screen, Pat Moore Poker on Twitter. Slowly entering the best ball community. Tweets used to be all poker, but now if you go into replies, you'll see some best ball stuff in there for sure.
There you go.
Slowly turning into Dan Zach.
Oh, okay. So is this going to end up being a 4 tight end build in that case?
I don't know if we can go 4 tight ends with 18 picks, but it's more viable on DraftKings for sure, or redacted.
All right. We're about to pick at 13-7. Ferguson falls here. If you wanted to shut it down, let me get quarterback back up here. What do you think?
Yeah, either Ferguson or Rashad. Probably Ferguson, yeah. Let's just lock it in.
I think so.
It's a good ADP fall.
I think this is a really nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and Brian Robinson correlation too. So I like that.
Yep, we get Brian Robinson opposite Ferguson. We take 3 straight tight ends there. A little homage to our friend Crack Rock in the ship chasing universe with 3 straight tight ends. And yeah, I think we're doing a nice job of getting the positional values where we're at in the draft board. We haven't really had to reach for positional needs yet. Do you have a preference? So like, it seems like with one of these next picks, we should probably grab Geno or Matthew Stafford as our QB2. Do you have a preference between those two?
If we have to fade one, it probably makes a little more sense to fade Stafford just because we have the running back wide receiver combo and it gives us a little more balance on that offense. Whereas if we take Geno, we're just betting on the passing attack for the Raiders a little harder.
Yeah. I think I generally agree with that take. It's one of those weird things where you're now splicing up the correlation combo on a single game basis, where it's like, yeah, the Kyren and Stafford stuff is a little negatively correlated, which could hurt in like a Week 17 finals. But over the course of the season, if this offense is just absolutely cooking, you're going to be very happy to have both Stafford and Kyren. So that's where it kind of like depends how you want to think about that correlation.
Yeah, I guess let's just see what the values look like once we're on the clock.
Yeah, we're about to pick here. I mean, this is lining up well. Both quarterbacks available, both in the ADP window here. I think you got to make your choice on
go Stafford. Yeah, I like that. Pretty much right at ADP.
And then I think this sets up, let me know if you agree, like so we have Goff and Stafford, we have the bye week issue. And then I guess the question is the issue with both Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson or Jackson Dart or Russell Wilson, whatever of those other correlated angles you want to take, is do we think we have enough certainty that that specific quarterback will be starting in Week 8 to cover the bye weeks for Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford?
No, we might need to just take someone naked that has higher floor, assuming anyone that's like a guaranteed starter is still available at the next pick.
I think that makes sense. I'm trying to think here too if there's any, the Titans are pretty viable to backstack. There's some angles there. Otherwise, we're kind of running out of
Tyler Lockett.
This I love how much bye weeks have become a part of this draft, from the initial decision, the Travis Hunter, to Jameson Williams, and now to the Jared Goff, which has led us down this insane path of normally like the stacking for this team would have come together so clean, just so perfectly clean. And instead we are in a pretzel.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but if we could survive that Week 8, then I think we're cooking.
Yeah, so you now have that choice. Like, we have made a big bet on the Colts with Tyler Warren and JT. You could clackety clack and just say, hey, I'm going to bet on Anthony Richardson, I guess, and or Daniel Jones being the quarterback Week 8. Or I think Cam Ward is probably the other kind of prudent option.
I just think the way this team's set up, Cam Ward's way more likely to play Week 8 than the other guys, and I think we just kind of need that floor. And then we could backstack him with like Tyler Lockett or Chigo. Oh, we can't take Chigo Kongo unless we want to do the Dan Zach method, but
true. Yeah, we grabbed Cam Ward here. There's still Tyler Lockett. I think Alec Ayamanor is a perfectly viable 18th round click as well. And you know what? It's not the end of the world if not every single pick is not stacked. So we can survive.
Yeah, if you're ever to do a naked quarterback, I think how our team's structured, it makes sense here. And like if we get a stack partner, cool. But if Cam Ward could even give us 15 points that week, I think it justifies it. And then we still might capture some spike weeks if he rushes more than we expect.
Julian says he semi-recognizes the World Series of Poker username. Are you New Jersey based?
I am from New Jersey, yeah, originally. Okay. Right now I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, but
okay.
Pat Moore 967, I think, was my name on there.
Gotcha.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Look at this. We got my guy JJFC in this draft taking Tyler Shuck ahead of. Oh, I thought Gino might have still been on the board, but yeah, Tyler Shuck getting that. Do you have the Shaheed? Yep, the Shaheed correlation there. All right, let's see. We are on the clock. 3, 4, 5, 3. We need running backs or wide receivers here. Anyone stand out to you?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay, let me get Hopkins in here. DeAndre Hopkins. Talk to me about Hopkins. I haven't drafted a ton of him.
I mean, he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl, if my memory serves me correct. He's played his whole career with a bunch of dust balls and has been relevant almost the entire time. I feel like the sentiment on him slowly fading, but this should probably be the situation we're most excited for him. He's in the Ravens offense. They don't really have a true alpha at receiver. I mean, Zay Flowers is kind of the deep threat guy, but for all we know, DeAndre Hopkins might get 8 to 12 targets a game. I feel like if we get good reports coming out of camp about him or any positive news, his ADP is going to go way up. I just feel like that's a nice late round wide receiver pick that can very realistically not put up 500 to 700 yards, 6 touchdowns plus, and we wouldn't like be shocked.
Yeah, I think the run out with the Chiefs last year, I think, was a little frustrating with how ambiguous it was and that he couldn't get a little bit more done. I've really only taken him on Lamar teams is kind of how I've approached it. I know on a couple streams I've been into it there. I would say with this team, you know, at wide receiver, we do get the first 5 through pick 80. So I would maybe lean towards swinging for a little higher upside there. Especially if we do go Tyler Lockett here, you know, just thinking like, hey, we're gonna, you know, eat our vegetables with a veteran presence. But I like someone making the case for DeAndre Hopkins to me.
Yeah, plus some of these guys can be zeros, like not all of them, but like potentially some of them, and I just feel like he has a really high floor.
Do you want to do the Tyler Lockett here?
Yeah, let's go with Tyler Lockett. We're gonna have to take a stab somewhere at receiver, probably late.
Yes.
But I mean, we got Tyler Warren as our rookie upside potential. We've got, I mean, we do have a good amount of vets, but we also have Cam Scatabo. So, I mean, you don't always have to take rookie receivers. I mean,
no, and there's none. I guess Tesla would have been the one, right? We stack up Jared. I think maybe if you could flip like the Hopkins to Tesla because you got the Jared Goff double stack, maybe. Yeah. But there just aren't very many good rookie wide receivers available at this point in the draft. I think we're probably looking for a 5th running back here, though, with the last pick. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we only have 1 pick left.
We have 1 pick left. We have a 3-4-7-3.
And what was DeAndre Hopkins bye week, by the way? 7.
Bye week 7. You're okay there. You're okay. You know, correlated angles for week 17 opposite our main stacks. Minnesota, there's going to be no running backs there. Atlanta, no running backs there. Cam Ward, New Orleans. Maybe a little you a Kendre Miller guy.
I don't hate Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Just to correlate with Jake Ferguson and then go opposite of Brian Robinson. I feel like that backfield's pretty ambiguous. I mean, it was only like 2 years ago that he was crushing it with the Eagles. Last year, he was with one of the worst teams in the NFL. So I just feel like there's some bounce back potential there.
I like that call. I was in the Coach Speak Index Discord the other day and checking out his notes and some pretty favorable comments about Miles Sanders with the usual caveats. We're in peak fluff Coach Speak period, but I've had this just lingering feeling that Sanders could be the answer to that backfield this year.
Yeah. And in hindsight, I agree with you. Like I forgot we were taking Tyler Lockett. So if I knew we were doing that, then the DeAndre Hopkins pick makes less sense. But either way, I think that just gives us some floor late in the draft for those week 8 buys. And I mean, Tyler Lockett, I can't think of a bad year he's had other than like last year was pretty down, but new situation, new quarterback. Could just be a Terry McLaurin kind of situation. Not saying he's going to crush it that hard, but and then go ahead.
Yeah, let me recap the team here for our audio listeners, and then we'll get your final thoughts and we can kind of deconstruct this. I think the combination of the 20-second clock, the initial bye week curveball really put this on hard mode for us, but I think we navigated it decently. But here's the final squad: 3-5-7-3. Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Cam Ward. 5 running backs: JT, Kyron Williams, Brian Robinson, Cam Scatabo, and Miles Sanders. 7 wide receivers: Puka, Jameson Williams, DK Metcalf, Jacoby Myers, Khalil Shakur, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Lockett. Some might say an eliminator ass wide receiver room right there. In tight ends, Tyler Warren, Dalton Kincaid, Jake Ferguson. Some might say a Dan Zach-esque, Dan Zach-ass tight end room there. What are your thoughts on this team?
I think it's beautiful. I think it's constructed really well. I mean, maybe we panicked a little in the beginning because I was telling a story and I didn't realize we had 20-second clocks. But I mean, overall, like I think we covered our bases. There's decent correlation. Even though like people tend to take their stabs on rookies at receiver, we're taking that stab at quarterback, tight end, and running back. So I don't know. I like it. I think it's got a real shot to win it all, honestly.
I love it. I love that enthusiasm. I did just name it here. And I named it week 8. Normally I put like the overall structure, but I want when we go back and we're sweating this team throughout the year to know that if we survive, we'll all look back on week 8 as just being, the part of the hero's journey that really ratcheted up the drama.
Yeah. It'll put the bye week bros to rest.
Yeah, I think I like this team a lot. Like I said, I think maybe flipping the Hopkins pick to an upside wide receiver stab, like Alec Pierce more with the Colts, maybe the Tesla, something like that. But otherwise, the quarterback and tight end stuff. I mean, the values we got at tight end, specifically with Jake Ferguson as your third tight end there at 151. I mean, this is a really good late round tight end room.
Oh yeah, I love the tight end room. I love Tyler Warren. Just feel like he's being underappreciated. And yeah, when everyone's clicking Pat Bryant and Alec Pierce, they're going to be jealous when DeAndre Hopkins has 12 touchdowns come November. So,
wow. 12. I wonder what kind of odds you could get. And you didn't even say 12 touchdowns for the whole season. You're saying by November that you're saying he's going to be averaging a touchdown a game for the Baltimore Ravens this year. You really hate Zay Flowers.
I don't hate Zay Flowers, but who's going to be catching the red zone targets? Mark Andrews can't catch them.
Wow. So. Look at this. I would like to see you do your depth chart for the Ravens passing game. And it's just like DeAndre Hopkins, then Rashad Bateman, then a big tier to Zay and an even bigger tier to Mark Andrews.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he's just the alpha by midseason, but obviously it could also not happen. But I just like that bet. I like that offense, and I'm very confident he'll provide at least a few spike weeks where he just randomly catches 2-3 touchdowns. So I like that.
I do think like if you're trying to tell the story of Hopkins paying off this price tag, it's definitely through touchdowns because there are other mouths to feed. It's a relatively low pass volume offense, but could he run hot in the red zone? I think absolutely. And I think that was kind of the hope that he was going to do in KC, and it didn't really materialize. But maybe him with Lamar. Maybe that was the unique combo we needed to unlock here.
Yeah, and one last point I'll make is he transitioned to the Chiefs midseason, still did pretty well, but at least he gets a full offseason with the Ravens to learn the playbook and stuff like that.
Are you, if people walk away from this appearance on Best Ball Bash and people hear your name and they think back to the episode, what do you want to most be remembered by? The guy who couldn't draft on Underdog when he got on here, the guy who just stared in the face of a bunch of week 8 buys, or the most bullish person on the planet with regards to DeAndre Hopkins' 2025 fantasy outlook?
I would probably say headlines of whatever news article's writing up about us.
Yes.
Guy comes on stream and wins $2 million when he was supposed to be banned from Underdog. That's what I want to be remembered by.
I wonder which one of those is like, people always pull out the crummy usernames and then just imagining Josh Norris doing the Best Ball Mania advertisement, like Poopy Dick won Best Ball Mania 6 for 2. I wonder if it's that or a guy who was boxed out of playing on Underdog wins. I think in that scenario, Pat, I'm going to have to do all the victory laps, all the public stuff. And, I'll just quietly send you $1 million Venmo.
Yep. We'll scrape this from the archives, act like it never happened, and we'll just go on our merry way.
That's right. Yeah. People will be reviewing this roster and they're like, Peter, you won Best Ball Mania with a draft where you finished with DeAndre Hopkins and Tyler Lockett. That does not sound like you, Peter. Are you sure that you were the sole architect of this team? Do you have a celebration planned for June 25th? I mean, this has to be a greater date than a birthday or an anniversary.
Honestly, might just take off work, throw on a bathrobe, and draft all 150.
All 150 in one day. Just blow your load.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know if that'd be possible, but it probably isn't.
I've already seen comments from a few people who have already maxed BBM, some out of necessity. I think one of our guys was in the chat saying they were moving out of the country, and so they wanted to get their entries in. But some people, maybe they thought there was a lot of CLV to be had. I personally didn't see that from when I was reviewing early drafts. But hey, if you want to lock in all your entries, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, no, sounds like fun. And I'll say one last regret was just taking those two guys that we took. Like, I kind of feel like we were forced into the Lockett pick just because correlation, but I would have liked to scroll down a bit and take a guy that was kind of like the original plan, but we were just kind of crunched.
Who do you have for the people here with some more hot takes? Do you have any scroll downs that you think are intriguing right now?
Off the top of my head, just someone like AD Mitchell, who I remember at some point last season, if you were playing DFS on Redacted, he was like the chalk that week. And it was mostly due to opportunity. I think either Downs or Pittman were hurt, and he was definitely going to be on the field. But just taking a stab at someone like that who's only in their second year. But like, I think if you look at BBMDB by the end of it, they might be 20 to 30% drafted. I just feel like if AD Mitchell pans out, that's going to give you a lot more leverage over the field than if Tyler Lockett pans out. So I just, because Tyler Lockett's probably going to be 100% owned.
Yeah, I think close to it. I mean, I think any of those guys back there, it's hard for them to get 100%, but I hear you. Yeah, probably at least in the 70 to 80% range.
Yeah.
It sounds like you like some Colts though. We had the opportunity to try to guess on the Colts quarterback situation. Do you have a dog in that race?
It's mostly been Daniel Jones when he falls to me and I'm in a bit of a panic situation. I haven't really been able to get much Anthony Richardson just because I feel like people tend to take him in a slot where there's other guaranteed starters. So I'm not really comfortable taking him, but I do probably need to up my exposure a little bit. It's just a weird bet. I think there's one team on Redacted where I did both of them late, but you also have 20 rounds, so it's a little more flexible.
Yeah. Yeah, the 18 versus 20 definitely changes things a bit. What would you if you take down the top prize with this team we drafted? What does it look like? Are you telling the old day job you're done? You're becoming a full-time poker best ball player? What does that look like?
Man, I don't know if I would quit right away, but it would definitely open doors to being able to go out to WSOP for more tournaments, stay for longer, max BBM, play the dailies to like a higher volume. But I don't know. I don't know if you can quit your day job with $1 million and then after taxes, etc. But it'd be a really nice boost. That's for sure.
That is, where are you in? Are you at in an office right now? Are you? What was it like? Were you preparing to be on the stream? Like, what kind of? I'm now curious, like, what things people are doing to make sure they're ready to hop on.
So, I've been with the same company since 2015 when I graduated, and from 2015 to 2020, I was in the office full time, 9 to 5, and then since 2020, I've been hybrid. Okay. And then we were hybrid for a little bit. And then in 2021, there was like the Omicron variant or something stupid. And then they sent everyone home again full time. Now, most people in my office are 3 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, but I'm just full time at home. Right in front of me, I've got 2 monitors, a PC, like full setup. And I was just kind of doing some work, watching the stream. And I was like, all right, if he picks me, which I don't even know if it's very likely because the odds are maybe 5%. I was like, I got my webcam here. Like if I have to hop on for work, I can hop on Zoom meetings and team meetings or whatever. So I already kind of got the setup. And then also I do some poker content. So like I'm used to kind of doing filming at this desk station. I just don't have like the good mic setup or like my Sony camera. This is just like a Logitech webcam, but now it's pretty ready to go if you call my name.
All right. Well, beautiful. Yeah, I appreciate. I mean, we're now back-to-back weeks of the winner of the drawing being ready to go, having clean audio and video. So thank you for making my experiment successful, at least through the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on. And thanks for letting me scratch this itch because I've been fiending.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like it. When June 25th rolls around, I'm gonna think about you. And yes, thank you for hopping on. It was great getting to know you a little better. You got an equity stake in that team we just drafted. And if you guys want to be like Pat, you want to draft on Best Ball Bash, we will be back next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. But now it is time to say bye to Pat, and it is time to get ready for the randomizer and my guest, Denny Carter. Say bye to Pat, and let's welcome on Denny after this intro.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the randomizer.
19, 20, show off. 21, 22.
With Rouse White Pong.
That from Bleak Cross.
I've also never heard a chard in my life.
This team might be the best in randomizer history.
Welcome to the randomizer. Pete, take it away.
Denny, welcome back to the show. It's been so long. How are you doing?
It's been a while. Do you know the last time I was on? I don't remember.
You know, I was looking through like the old thumbnails to see the last time, and I want to say the last time you did randomizer was like, it wasn't the past 2 years. I think it's been 3 years.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, because I know the picture you used on the thumbnail was of me during COVID. So,
so here's the thing, Denny. I'm now doing this show as a part of a block. Obviously, you saw there was the show going on, and I'm doing a thing called Best Ball Bash where someone wins a chance to come on and draft a team with me. Right. So I have a thumbnail with you on, but it's also the Bash thumbnail.
Okay.
So on Twitter, I did that one. But when I went to Blue Sky, I was like, I'm only trying to solicit prompts for Denny. So I was like, why don't I just, not to confuse people, I find the old thumb. So I just use that, being very lazy.
It's most important that you used a picture of me with the worst hair possible and also at my absolute fattest. So it's, it's good. I like it.
Well, did you see what a disaster I was on Blue Sky trying to promote your appearance?
I think you tagged like a researcher or something.
I mean, Denny, I go over here and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to where my guest is. I'm like, let me produce it. So I just start searching CD Carter 13, and I just didn't even think. I was just like, oh yeah, CD Carter, this has to be him.
Yeah.
Do you know who this individual is?
No, but that's a funny onion post there.
Yeah. So I was wrong, and then I tried to go back again and get the correct one there.
Yeah,
so I was struggling over there.
It's okay. I get it. Look, I rebranded as quote unquote Denny Carter. I got away from the CD Carter situation back in I want to say in the fall.
Okay.
In the winter maybe, but we're done with CD Carter.
Okay. And I feel like I might be close to I'm not anti Blue Sky. I just don't want to do any more social media, but I don't know how many more spam bots I can handle at this point. I might be joining you where the skies are blue here soon.
The bots, man. I still go on X obviously for like Roto World purposes.
Yeah.
To grind news and whatever, and man, the bots are unbelievable. The number
they're only growing stronger. They're like the bunnies in my yard where they just keep exponentially growing. I'm like, how are there so many goddamn bunnies?
There's in my yard? So many bunnies, and it drives me nuts because my little dog Ziggy, he loves to find a baby bunny and get it in his mouth. He doesn't eat it. But he plays with it, right? And then so I have to force it out of his mouth, and then the bunny is like paralyzed in fear on the ground. And I, have to deal with that. It's not my favorite.
All right, Denny, I am gonna hop us in a draft. So there's a unique thing that's going on where on Underdog, you remember with these randomizer drafts, we normally do the private drafts. That way we don't mess up Best Ball Mania by drafting, ridiculous players early. They don't have the private drafts enabled right now. So we have to enter a public $3 draft. I'm still not going to mess up the contest integrity here. So 11 spots available right now in the lobby, guys. This is the $3 12-person draft, a private draft, not in a tournament. If you guys want to come draft with us, and I'll give full disclosure, Denny. I went to enter initially, and it snap filled. I was the 12th person. That is kind of antithetical to what we're trying to do on the show, which is draft with the community. So I'm autoing that draft for the good people, and I entered a second one so that everybody can draft with us.
Can I tell you an embarrassing best ball story while we wait?
Yes.
Okay. So I had a best ball draft where I had a bunch of players queued up, right?
Yeah.
It's a slow draft, right?
Okay.
And long story short, I ended up taking JJ McCarthy in the 5th round. That was tough to swallow.
You know, there's a name for that. What happened to you, right?
No, what is it?
That's the Davis Maddox star method. Yes. So this was the thing, you know, you star your queue, you know, you do your stacks, your correlations, whatever you want to do. And then because you get timed out or something comes up, you end up accidentally auto drafting a player that you didn't want to take until the 12th round in round 5. And I literally have a video, Denny. There was a class action lawsuit brought against Davis Maddox for damages caused by the star method. So you could be part of this lawsuit.
That's fun. Well, I'm scared. But so here's what happened. I got Justin Jefferson at like the 103, and I was like, okay, I'll just do the Viking stack, right? Like,
yeah,
I'll do Addison, Hawkinson, and McCarthy along with Jefferson, and we'll be done with it. And so I queued up McCarthy, and then I accidentally went to sleep one night, and I got auto picked.
You accidentally went to sleep?
Well, I mean, apparently you can't sleep. The clock doesn't stop at night.
All right, we're off to the races here. We have the 1-7. I'm going to spin right away here. This is a multimedia prompt we have right off the gate here. So I'm going to get this set up, but I'll read it here for Denny. This is called Arby's or Arby's, running backs or Arby's, the restaurant. Denny must identify whether photos are of an Arby one or an Arby's menu item. Get 3 of 5. You get to draft whoever. Otherwise, you have to draft a meat mountain, which I don't know how we're going to define which player constitutes a meat mountain. But here we go. This is the first clue. I'm pulling this up on screen here, Denny. Can you see this very ambiguous image right here?
Yeah, man. Look, as someone who has eaten a meat mountain, I know this to be a meat mountain.
Okay, Denny says this is a meat mountain, and that is definitely a meat mountain. That is correct.
Right.
1 for 1. Here's number 2. I'll zoom in a little bit if that helps.
That's a neck. That's a running back.
Wow, Denny's like maybe too good at this. In fact, it is Saquon Barkley's neck. Holy cow, I'm kind of scared how good you are at this. All right, is this a running back or an Arby's menu item?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go with an Arby's menu item.
Oh my! I thought this is the easiest one. No, that's Christian McCaffrey's hair.
That's his hair.
Hey, let's quickly. We got to see if you could get one in here because you're on the clock.
I forgot there was a weight running back. That's Arby's.
Yes, you're correct, Arby's. So I'm gonna let you pick whoever. Then we'll get back to this.
Okay.
Gibbs, Genty, Neighbors, Amon-Ra, McCaffrey. Who do you like?
Gibbs.
Okay, we'll take Gibbs. Yeah, see, I was like, this clearly looks like hair. And I was like, if I saw this on an Arby's menu or in anything I was about to eat, I would be mortified.
So I thought it might be hair, but again, I forgot that there was. I forgot there was a white running back in the league.
Yeah, it's easy to forget. You did pass it, but let's just do the last one for fun here. Is this an Arby's menu item or an NFL running back?
I believe that's Derrick Henry.
Actually. Yes, correct. That is Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
When was the last time you ate Arby's?
That night. That night
Okay.
in a sleeting rain storm in the parking lot of an Arby's in Rockville, Maryland.
It's a kind of an experience like that traumatizes you so much that you'll never actually be able to eat the food ever again.
No, we're done with that. We're on to chickpeas.
Yes, don't worry. There are some chickpea prompts here today. Do not worry.
Sorry to the
kids. Put Tyreek Hill or his backup in the queue. Denny gives a heartfelt apology to the youth of America for a thing the fantasy industry has taken away from them, which their fathers and mothers were able to enjoy to take whoever. So I'm going to put Tyreek Hill. Or did someone already just take Tyreek Hill? No, where is he? There he is. Do you understand this prompt, Denny? Is there something that fantasy has taken away from the youth of America?
Yeah, right. The desire to see one team win over another. You know, like fandom is what I would say. We've taken away fandom.
And is it? Yeah, I think that's a great premise. Although it doesn't seem extremely heartfelt yet. Can you give me some? Tell me why this is such a sad thing.
Look. I forgot it had to be heartfelt. Back in the day, people were able to, in good faith, root for one team over another, and to be happy when that team won, and to feel sad when that team lost. And guess what? You'll never get to care about that, because all you'll ever care about is fantasy football stats, because me and Pete did that to you.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter will not watch an NFL game unless I tell her she can get a second M&M if the team she predicts will win wins. It's we're already having to teach them about gambling.
Pretty sick, but I do the same thing.
No, I'm completely. I was trying to do one of those, like the old tweets you used to see, like my 4-year-old just said, like we're in the midst of a constitutional crisis, and we're like, did you really say that?
Right. Oh yeah.
All right, you're on the clock. Devon Achan, Lad McConkey, JT, Bucky T, Trey McBride. What do you like?
Okay, I have 14 seconds. Oh man, do we do Lad?
This is your team, Denny. All
right, let's just do Achan. We're done with running backs forever.
Yeah, you've changed, man. You've changed.
I have. I'm sorry, but you know what? This year, wide receivers deep. That's what they're saying. No,
that's what they're saying. I do love this start. The Gibbs Achan is a very fun start. It sounds like you've been doing some best ball drafts, mainly slow drafts, or are you mixing it up?
Slow. I rarely have time to like sit down and like do the fast draft. Although I do miss it. I like the fast draft, but I've been doing slow drafts, and I find myself stacking. Like I said, the Vikings. I find myself stacking the Cowboys a lot. Is that bad?
Yeah. No.
Is that good? I feel like it's bad.
Like post Pickens trade, or
yeah, right. So like the idea of getting it all, Pickens, Lamb, and then Ferguson, like that feels like a huge portion of their targets,
And Ferguson is so cheap. We just took him in that BBM draft as our third tight end at like pick 145 or something.
Really?
It was or 150. All right, we got another prompt here. It's Greek to me. Denny must recount a quintessential Greek experience with his in-laws.
Yeah.
Or draft an alum of Athens, parentheses, Georgia. Denny famously went to Greece for what I think was only a few weeks, but based on the amount of post volume, you would have thought he was there for a decade.
I lived there from 2009 to 2021. No, I was there for 2 weeks.
You packed like an entire life of like Rick Steves travel logs into one trip.
By the way, Rick Steves has made like not a comeback in my life, but like an introduction in my life. I didn't even know this guy's name until last week, and now, seriously, I've never heard of him, and now I can't stop watching him on public television.
Yeah,
and I see him posting on various social media platforms now in like a political way. Like, and now you're referencing him. What's going on? Okay.
I had a guy, when I studied abroad, everybody had their guidebooks and their stuff. And there was this Rick Steves truther in our group. And he just like, everywhere he goes, he would pull out his Rick Steves book and he'd be like, Rick Steves. We're like, why does it always have to be Rick Steves as the authority?
I don't blame him. And he said in Europe, you search for the 2-star hotel, not the 4-star. You want a little home feel, and that's anyway. We'll do the challenge here.
Yeah, let me get a quintessential Greek experience with your in-laws.
So when I was very young and my wife and I were first dating, I was like 19, and I'm there. I'm at the house for Easter, for Greek Easter, which is a huge event, and I walk into their garage to like get a soda or something. And there's a big skinned bloody lamb hanging from the ceiling of the garage. And I felt like I was in a horror movie, I walked in and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And I like back out of the garage and I like tell Melissa, I'm like, you have a lamb in there. She was like, yeah, we're going to cook that and eat it today. I was like, what? I didn't know it was a Greek thing, but that's my quintessential Greek situation.
And you actually thought it was like more of a Rocky thing, and you started, shadow boxing.
I did, and my hands were soaked in blood. It was crazy. It got weird.
Denny, do you want to take the first wide receiver you've ever taken in your life? Garrett Wilson, JSN, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans.
Man, I'm so out on Wilson. Let's do Devontae.
Okay, strong pick. Give me the bear take on Garrett Wilson.
Justin Fields, like, I don't know, man. I also feel like if things go right, and I know it's the Jets, but look, they're having Bible study now. No one talks about that. Okay.
Are they? I missed this blurb.
Yeah, Aaron
Glenn.
Glenn.
This up?
No, no blurb. But
what?
But,
that would be a great blurb.
It actually would be. But Aaron Glenn is instituting Bible study, so we are bringing God into the fold. And if God has His way, the Jets will be running a lot this year. And I just don't know. I just don't know where the volume is going to come from. And also, Garrett Wilson might not be like all that good. I feel like the peripheral stats are not great.
Okay, we'll table the football conversation for David Bowie conversation because we have a prompt titled Ziggy Stardust, cue the next available David. And while we do this, Denny does a costume change to look like his favorite era of David Bowie to take who he wants. Do you have anything nearby that can make you look like David Bowie?
Oh, man. Yeah, well, yeah, we'll do this.
Okay. I'm going to put some Davids in the chat. Do you know, like, if you would have just said to me, Peter, like you have 10 seconds to think about it, how many Davids are in the NFL that are like relevant to fantasy? I think I would have said like 5 or 6. It's 2.
It's
David
2.
Montgomery and David Njoku. That's it.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Does that count?
What is it? Is this like a little like 8x11 print or what is it?
It was a little book was in there, a little Bowie book that I bought a long time ago, and it came in this cool little case, and I have it on my desk. So there you go.
I like that. In fact, I no longer want to stare at your face while I draft. I would much rather stare at David's.
Look, David Bowie's here giving you fantasy advice. You got to hammer running back early. You got to, mine for targets in the middle rounds, folks.
Can you imagine? I mean, that would be like if best ball ever got big enough, like the same way they do like the hot ones, right? And it's like, oh, the celebrities come by and eat really crazy hot wings and say funny things. It's like, imagine if like Sydney Sweeney drafted a best ball team or David Bowie drafted a best ball team. That would be incredible.
Yeah, well, Bowie was very online. I think he would have done stupid stuff like that.
If you were a celebrity who likes to do stupid stuff, please hit me up. The funny thing is with these shows, people would rather watch you eat chickpeas than watch Sydney Sweeney on here. Actually, Sydney Sweeney, I take that back. But for most of those examples, it would hold true. DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Jameson Williams, Cortland Sutton, James Cook, Omarion Hampton, Kittle, Metcalf. What do you like?
Well, we got to go. We got to go with Moore, unfortunately.
Moore. Okay.
Wait, no, Jameson.
Okay, gotcha. I got it in time. It in time.
All right, thank you. Because I'm gonna try to do a lion stack.
Okay, I like this. Look at this. See, this is when the guest is starting to feel a little too comfortable, a little too cocky with the prompts. They're like, oh, I might try to get a little bring back the Minnesota on my stack.
You never know.
Yes, the draft before this featured a lot of week 8 buys, and now that is the theme of this show is week 8 buys. Denny, just to be aware, you have 3 of 4 week 8 buys.
Oh, I try not to, cry over the buys too much.
Okay, here we go. This is a prompt about the UFL. This is called the minor league team. The Washington Commanders owners are known for running their team like a minor league franchise. Name 3+ of the 8 UFL league teams, and I'm going to pull up an image here to help you, with cities based on their logos or draft spring legend Donald Parham. Before I pull this up, do you have any knowledge of UFL teams?
I do, but also Parham tore his Achilles this morning.
This morning?
Yeah.
That got dark.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Is this why they need to trade for Jonnu Smith? Because their third string tight end tore his Achilles?
Oh, maybe.
That is a bummer. Okay, let's see if you can.
I can do this.
Okay.
All right. Memphis Showboats. I just named the teams, right?
Yes. Yep. Okay. You got it.
All right. Correct. St. Louis Battlehawks.
That is correct.
Birmingham Stallions.
That is correct.
DC Defenders.
Correct.
San Antonio Brahms.
Yeah, bonus points for that pronunciation too.
Michigan Panthers.
Michigan Panthers, correct.
And then can you scroll down Arlington?
Yes. There's nothing for me to scroll down to. It just says Arlington.
Houston Renegades.
Ooh, okay. It's Houston Roughnecks.
Okay.
It's Arlington Renegades. How dare you mix up your two Texas-based UFL teams? You passed the challenge though. Three of 8. You are in good shape.
I love my DC Defenders. Everyone knows that.
I feel like the one thing about your the entire crew at Roto World, obviously, Dvorak and Doherty and you guys, I feel like you all keep your finger on the pulse of all the sports. Like you guys are, you're out here making golf showdown lineups. You're able to rattle off the UFL. It's like, how do you guys do this?
Kyle is more tapped into all the sports than I am, but I do like my golf.
Have you been playing DFS golf?
Yeah. Unfortunately, because I'm just kidding. I'm becoming the deposit king of the golf world.
Hey, I'm glad I could pass that baton to someone that was in possession of a bank account that is not mine.
And with the U.S. Open coming up, we're going to be depositing more than ever.
Yes, the greatest depositor we've ever seen. All right, we're on the clock. Jalen Hurts, George Pickens, Mr. I love stacking up the Cowboys, RJ Harvey, Calvin Ridley, Kenneth Walker.
God, Harvey. I feel like I never leave without Harvey.
Really?
No, Ridley. Can we go Ridley?
You're like I've drafted 3 best ball teams this year, but I just feel like I never get out of one of those drafts without RJ Harvey.
I have 100% Harvey. You don't understand.
Here's the team so far. Gibbs and Achane started very high T. We've come around to piss in a little yellow here. Devontae Adams, Jameson Williams, and Calvin Ridley. Are you a Cam Ward believer, Denny?
I am. And so I was wondering, could you queue him up?
Yes, that sounds scary. Okay. All right. That well said. A lot of things are going to happen on the show. We're going to get distracted. It'll be nice to know that in 100 picks, we should consider Cam Ward.
We're going to have him there.
Exactly. All right. We are spinning here. Ooh, Konami Code.
Mm-hmm.
What is this going to be? Konami Code. Put a statue QB in the queue. Does Cam Ward run that much? Could he qualify? Denny explains how you input the Konami Code into the game console of his choice to unlock elite rushing QB production. Draft whoever if the chat uses it to cheat. Draft whoever if chat uses it to cheat versus Brick 75 in Madden. My co-host on LOL's famously a very good Madden player. Can you make up or do you know the official Konami Code?
It's up, left, down, AB.
I'm fact checking you. I think that's pretty close. Up, down, left, right, BA or X circle on PlayStation controllers. I think it works though. Are you a video gamer much these days? Just Wii?
I have this fresh in my head, Pete, because I recently watched the Fear Street series on Netflix with my son.
Oh.
And they reference the Konami Code.
Okay. I mean, that's one of the greatest pieces of branding by our friend Laura Reeves there to get Konami Code as part of the lexicon.
Just insane. Rich will live forever because of that.
He will. We will die, as will all of our best ball teams, but there will be another generation that only knows how to gamble on NFL who will remember the words Konami.
Right. It'll be like, it's from old Mr. Rebar.
I will keep Cam Ward in the queue. You don't have to take another statue quarterback because you got the code. Rome, Godwin, Trevion Henderson, Olave, Judy, Debo, Sam Laporta, Montgomery.
That's
Anything?
Gross. Can you scroll up a little?
Yeah, I'm at the top.
There's nobody there. There's nobody that's left. Oh, no.
I'm taking Cam Ward out of the queue. Who do you want?
Rome.
Okay. Man, that's how you know it's bad when you're like, can you scroll up for better players?
I know.
I was
like, no. So you have Rome Odunze at the top, and I need to see who's above him.
Yes. Rome, I feel like is so. Even him and Marvin Harrison, those guys we drafted so highly last year, and it's like that rookie year wasn't as great as we wanted it to be.
No. I mean, let's be real. Like Odunze is way too nice to be a receiver. He just seems like
He's too nice. I actually am not familiar with his personality.
yeah,
Is that
he's
a knock on him?
super nice guy, and it's unfortunate.
Big deck Denny. We're gonna cue Dakari Collins. Denny must make his preferred pick from his massive deck. Is this even feasible?
It is
for you. Okay,
it is. Hold on, I
You're on
gotta
a
get my
laptop.
shoes on.
okay.
Okay, let's go.
Here, and I am gonna put Dakari Collins in. Wide receiver doesn't appear to have a team right now. We are on the move with Denny.
All right, here we go. We got to go upstairs. Watching some golf channel, if you see it.
This is like an SNL promo when you're getting to see like the hallway of 30 Rock. It's like Denny taking you to the big deck.
We're in the kitchen.
I mean, if you guys have been having similar weather as us up here, I mean, this is a nice week for getting comfy on the deck for the first time for the summer. Oh no, Denny freeze framed. Uh-oh. We have Wi-Fi issues getting out to the deck. This is going to be a sweat, folks. Oh no, he's there. He's back. He's back.
Okay, what are we doing?
No, you're good. We actually have a little time. Your internet cut out for a second. I got really afraid. This is a good question, Denny. Does your Wi-Fi require? Does the deck require its own Wi-Fi? Because it's so far out from the house.
Thankfully, no. But I only get it on one part of the deck, which is the lower part. So I have an upper part here, and then this is the lower part, and then I have a part over there.
I have never seen this perspective of the deck. I've only seen it from inside. That's a fucking
crazy,
massive deck, Denny.
It's no one has ever seen a bigger deck.
There's two wings to it, like it's the goddamn Oval Office, and then there's a bottom.
There's a bottom part. Yeah, I don't know how to show it to you, but yeah.
Denny, have you considered like using your house to like host weddings for people and just be like, we have this beautiful patio for you to do it on?
Unfortunately, the deck is in shitty condition, so
it would probably cost you $1 million to redo the deck with that much surface area.
Oh, I know. I think we're gonna take it down eventually, which I know is sad, but yeah.
No.
Hey, you see my golf pin back here somewhere? You see that?
Oh, okay. I like that.
I've been chipping golf balls back here.
You can use your deck like Top Golf, where you have like the second level and you get to like chip out.
I think that's the money maker. There is just having people here for Top Golf and provide natty lights.
All right, you're about to get to make the pick from the deck. Laporta, Caleb Johnson, Jaden Reed, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Brandon Ayuk, TJ Hawkinson.
Well, I think Laporta would make sense because we're doing the Lions stack.
We are. We're
gonna
committed to the
try
Lions. All right, Denny, you have been freed from your giant deck. You can return back to the comfy confines of your office.
It's so hot. It's so hot.
Yeah, I mean the chat here, it really is big. Jesus, monstrosity. This man is deck flexing on us. The deck is girthy. Deck flex, double decker. I mean, Denny.
Oh man, it is. Many are calling it girthy.
It is. Do you ever think, Denny, how like people like me can never post a photo of our deck because it'll just always pale in comparison to yours, that you've ruined deck sharing for the rest of us?
And I feel bad for that, and I'm deck censoring is I think is what's going on.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. We got another prompt. Denny, here on the randomizer, we're cruising. This one is called They Live. Cue Aaron Rodgers, and then like the Rowdy Roddy Piper movie, Denny and Pete don special sunglasses to learn which NFL players are aliens walking among us to take whoever. Okay. Do you have sunglasses nearby?
I'm gonna try to find something.
Let me see what kind of cool sunglasses I can pull up for this.
Oh god. Oh, I thought I had my American flag sunglasses. Oh, where did they go? Hold on.
think there's actually another deck prompt in here that involves sexual innuendo, so maybe it will come up. Is this a safe space for me to admit I've never seen the Roddy Piper movie? So I only vaguely get this reference. Oh, are these? Yeah, are these the Davis glasses? I forgot.
Okay.
The Wi-Fi in this movie is a disaster. There he is.
All right.
Okay, we got our glasses. Denny, have you seen the Roddy Piper movie?
Yeah, they live, right?
I mean, spoiler alert, but yeah, apparently.
Yeah, no, I love that movie. Yeah, big fan. I have a T-shirt of that movie.
Seriously?
Oh, I'm gassed.
You can't get anything past you in the 80s.
No, yeah, for better or worse.
Okay, I am. These glasses are like polarized in a very weird way. So my draft board right now, I am having like an ayahuasca level trip, with this experience.
Okay.
Who do you want, Denny? Let's talk it out.
I'm not up, right? No.
No, in a couple picks, Pacheco, Cooper Kupp, Brian Robinson. I don't think there's anything you need to do with the quarterbacks.
Okay.
We got to watch out for the week 8 bye though, so maybe no Cooper Kupp.
What about who's my running backs again?
Your running backs so far are Gibbs and Achane.
Okay.
Some would say not worried about your running backs.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Burden.
Burden, yes. Are you a Burden over Igbuka, even with that soft tissue flare up, Denny?
Wait, who? Oh, Burden had the soft tissue. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 14 days ago. He could be better now.
He might not. I don't know. Yeah, let's go Burden because maybe we stack Bears.
Ooh, I like that. So you go now. We have outs to both Bears and Lions stacks.
Right.
Denny, I'm starting to question whether you work out Roto-World or not knowing about Luther Burden's soft tissue injury from 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, but we were talking about Ibuka as well. I thought that maybe I missed the Ibuka one. But
No, I think Igbuka is fine. But yes, I did, as producer Matt is pointing out, though, we need to learn which NFL players are aliens walking among us. Any candidates for this?
The guy who has the bare feet for the
Matt Collins.
Matt Collins, he's very much an alien, clearly.
Yes.
He eats with his hands. He hasn't quite learned how to be a human. So
I will say, I'll say Jalen Polk. I mean, this man like came to our planet from somewhere far away, and then just vanished out of thin air.
He did.
We were all very excited about him, and now he doesn't even exist anymore. He's teleported to a different plane of existence.
Yeah. By the way, Pete, he changed his name to Jalin after he had his first bad game. So
okay.
that's what players do. They change the pronunciation of their names if they have one good or bad game.
Okay, that is good to know there. All right, we are going to spin again. I might just keep the glasses on now. I've kind of adjusted to this.
Yeah, no, I'm good with it. Let's do it.
Okay. Ooh, I think this is another multimedia prompt we have here. This is fun. This is called Duffer. We're going to put Cavante Turpin in the queue. Denny must define 3+ of the following 5 golf slang terms to draft who he wants. Denny, do you think you're up on golf slang?
I'm pretty keen on it. I feel like this will be a slam dunk. We'll see.
Okay, here's Duffer clue number 1. Going Mach 5. Do you know what that means?
What?
Is that a no?
Going Mach 5? No, I don't know. I've never heard this.
It means trying to get a round of golf finished in under 4 hours.
All right, whatever. That's not.
You're pissed. I love how pissed you are. Peanut butter sandwich. Do you know what this is?
No fucking idea.
No fucking clue. A chunk shot, usually from the fairway. You've never had a peanut butter sandwich in your life?
I have. I've had a lot of them, but I haven't called them that. Usually, I just curse at myself.
All right, you're 0 for 2. Like, can we get? Do you know what a manscape is in the world of golf?
Oh my god. I can guess.
Yes. Give us a guess.
It's where you take a big divot.
Let's see. A clean chip that does not disturb the turf.
So no, I was wrong. So I lose.
Let's see. We're gonna try to get you here. Do you know what a Monica Lewinsky is?
I mean, God, you're gonna make me answer. A shot that sucks.
A lipped out putt, all lip and no hole. Thank you for that one, production team. Last one, a beaver pelt.
That's a big divot. That's a big divot.
An abnormally large divot. We got one there. Who do you have to take? What was the thing? Oh, we got to take Turpin. You said you wanted to get Cowboys. Here you go.
No, not that bad. Oof.
Hey, I still think you could have some spike weeks this year.
Right.
What I'm learning, Denny, is that when you're on the course, you just might not be that cool, man. You don't know all the cool slang.
I don't. I usually play with millennials. Maybe these are Zoomers using these terms.
I mean, you also strike me as someone that, would really hack up a shot and be like, check out that beaver pelt.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, I'm saying unspeakable things about myself after I chunk a pitching wedge from 120 after a perfect drive.
The real clues would have just been all like various versions of Denny self-hate.
Yeah. That's right. That's actually correct.
I've not been golfing in over a year. I think I'm going to be going for the first time in a long time next week.
You go to the range at all?
I haven't. I just haven't made time for it, Denny. And that's about to change. You know what else is about to change? Yeah, America not eating their chickpeas, because we have a chickpea PSA. Denny records a public service announcement on behalf of the USA Dry Pea and Lentil Council. God, I hope that's a real thing. Knowing Matthew, it is probably a real thing. Extolling the virtues of chickpeas, or drafts a lentil-sized player. Can you make this case to America?
I can. Look, I once was someone who did not eat chickpeas and was not regular in my bowel movements. And once I started to have to eat one can of chickpeas per day, the bowel movements were as natural as the sun coming up in the morning and the moon coming up at night, and then the sun going down at night, things of that nature. So it helps you in that way. It also helps an increasingly fat 41-year-old dad stabilize his weight by filling his tummy with chickpeas instead of, I don't know, beef. So these are the reasons you should be in the chickpea cult as well. $12.99 per month. You can check out my Blue Sky for more.
I'd like to say you make a compelling case, except Denny, it is 2:37 p.m. Eastern. I have not eaten today, and I do not feel any bit hungry after that PSA from you about chickpeas.
You put red wine vinegar on those things, and some salt. Good to go.
Denny, you are on the clock. Both Caleb Williams and Jared Goff, both of your quarterbacks are here. Do you have a preference on stacking?
one of those? That's tough. Let's go. Oh God, let's go with Caleb.
Okay, Caleb, the ADP value there, 10 picks past ADP. Do you want to give out an AU value hound for the people?
Ooh,
I like that. Kind of an extended howl there. A lot of people come in hot with it and then bail on it. I kind of like the let it linger.
Yeah, right. I've been watching my dog get upset in the sunroom, and he does that. He starts his bark with the,
Oh, I like that. There you go. AARP partnership material.
I'm serious though, guys. Also, chickpeas are cheap as hell. Okay, look, I don't know how the tariffs are going to affect. If the tariffs affect my chickpeas, I'm becoming Che Guevara like instantly. Okay, I just want everyone to know that.
Is your happy place? Is it just sitting out on that big deck of yours with just a bowl of chickpeas? Is that where you're really in your element, Denny?
Yeah. I'd say that and a book. Is nice. Maybe a hard seltzer. You never know.
Ooh, feeling spicy. Here we go. Sage wisdom. Denny calls his father and asks his opinion about the prospects for the upcoming season of a DC franchise of Denny's choice to draft who he wants. If you refuse to call your father right now, you can draft former commander De'Ami Brown. If Mr. Carter does not answer, we get to spin again. Are you willing to call your dad on this program?
I am. Can I tell him what's happening? Or
yes, no? Of course.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. Oh, I just realized I'm not plugged in to my.
All right, here we go.
I have it on speaker.
Yeah, we can hear.
Dad, hey, listen. You are live on a fantasy podcast that I'm doing with my buddy Pete. I think you've maybe met him somehow, or you know of him. Anyway, I need to ask you, what do you think of the DC Defenders this season in the UFL? Are they as good as last year, or what?
Is this a joke call?
No, it's not no joke. I need to know. We're big Defender fans.
I haven't. Listen, I was the worst beat I ever took was with the USFL, and they were the Washington Generals, I think. Remember that?
I don't remember that. I was born in the 80s, but so tell me about the Defenders quarterback's looking pretty good though, right?
My goodness gracious, Denny, I don't know.
All right. Well, I just remember watching every Defenders game with you, so I guess you just memory hold that one.
No, you don't remember that. You're joshing around.
How dare you accuse me of I've never joshed around.
I know you're joshing right now.
Yeah.
Now I will say the UFL is. I've seen a few of their games, and it's not the worst I've ever seen.
It's not the worst, folks. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your input on our Defenders, even though you couldn't offer much.
I don't even know we had a team.
Oh my God, that's not true.
You have
That's not.
to prepare me for these calls.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know it was happening until just now. All right.
Did they play last year?
Yeah, man, they played last year.
The DC Defenders, and he played in the UFL.
Yes, the UFL, not the USFL from the mid '80s. Yeah.
I know Doug Flutie, Herschel Walker. I know.
Okay. All right, Dad. I gotta go, but thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Real quick before we deconstruct that call, Jared Goff is available here if you want to get him and get complete both of those sexy double stacks.
Yeah, I think we will.
You have to prep me for these calls.
You have to prep
incredible?
me. Yeah. I know. He does. My dad does like to be prepared for like anything like that. Like on the times I've done like living the stream stuff with him.
To get the takes all
yeah, he'll be like, I'm gonna need the questions ahead of time.
It reminded me, I saw this viral video the other day. I think it was like some like prank trend, and it was like wives having their husband call their father, so their father-in-law, and just say goodnight out of the blue. And there's this one Boston dad. He's like, "What the fuck are you? Is this a prank? No, I just wanted to say, like, have a good. Are you fucking the game?" They had that energy to it.
That's really good. I can't imagine what would happen if I called my father-in-law and said, "Hey, Pete, just wanted to say good night. Have a good night."
I have anxiety thinking about calling up my father-in-law to do that.
He would be like, "What?"
Okay, this is called the X-Files. Cue Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy's gone. Maybe we can do Restrepo instead. Or an available backup. Denny retrieves a school project from his son Xavier, see the X connection, to take who he wants. Do you have any arts and crafts from Xavier nearby?
I do. I need to go run to get it.
Yes, go for it.
Okay.
You got a few picks.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a Xavier Restrepo in the queue instead of Xavier Worthy here. The dad version of profesh this up a bit. Improv's not dad's thing. Yes, for those of you guys not familiar with Denny's dad and his lore on Living the Stream, he's had some hot takes over the years.
Okay. Some people have said they would like him on the show instead of me, which listen, that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Okay. That doesn't wound me deeply. Okay. So Xavier, my son, he made this.
Whoa.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Is that with like a 3D printer?
No. It came in a box, and he had to put it together over like 3 days. It took forever for him to do this.
That's cool.
You put your fingers, and then I guess. There you go. Hello to the folks. There you go. Or
I love it.
I could do thumbs up. Yeah.
Have you made any content with that yet? I feel like Denny at his desk typing with your special hand.
That's funny. I haven't, but that's a pretty good idea.
You gotta steal that.
It could be my AI writing.
Real quick, Denny, you're on the clock. I assume you probably want a running back. Trey Benson, Ray Davis, Rashad White, Garendo, Bigsby. You got any favorites here?
Bigsby, I guess.
Okay. Let's do Bigsby here. You only had the 2 running backs there. It sounds like where are you at? I feel like one of the great news debates right now is this Tootin versus ETN versus Bigsby conversation.
I mean, I think Pat and Kyle and I have been doing VODs, videos on demand. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but they're on the homepage, and we did a VOD yesterday on Liam Cohen saying we've never heard of trading, ETN. That's all fake, right?
Yes,
but that's just leverage. Like clearly, if they got a good offer, they'd be done with him in 2 seconds. I mean, he was terrible last year. He's not their guy. I guess Tootin is their guy, but Bigsby was like the most efficient running back in the NFL last year by some measures, if I remember correctly. So I feel like he's pretty good.
Yeah, I have not been selecting much Bigsby, so it's nice to get a little exposure to him in this $3 private self-contained league. If Bigsby is the back you need in Jacksonville, I'll always be able to point to this draft with Denny Carter for my exposure.
I will say when I have pointed out Bigsby's 2024 efficiency, the rebuttal is usually if you take away his big plays, he wasn't efficient. And you know what? It's a fair point. I've actually stripped away his big plays, and he is not quite as efficient.
All right, we have another multimedia prompt here. This should be in Denny's wheelhouse with the 80s movie theme here. Crossing the stream, Denny must name the core 4 actors from the 1984 Ghostbusters, and then there's an image here to help you, or draft a player with a scary floor that can blow up your lineup. Can you name these 4 actors?
Oh, man. Well, obviously, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd. I'm embarrassed.
You got a few picks. You can talk it out. You can look at the clue.
Oh, man. Ray, is it Ray? No, Ray is Dan Aykroyd's character. So
yes.
All right, how many picks do we have?
We still got 4 picks here. So you got the people are bleeding the clock for you here. They're giving you some time.
Ramos, Harold Ramis.
Okay. Yep. And then you got to get our guy on the far right here. This one's tough. I did not know this one. I only knew the 3.
Yeah, he actually was on Twin Peaks season 3, which makes this even worse.
Oh no, Denny.
I don't know.
Okay. The answer is Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson. I actually have never heard that name in my life.
Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson. Yeah, that last one is tough there. But unfortunately, you're going to have to draft a player with a scary floor who can blow up our lineup. So let's see here. I mean, Quentin Johnston, pretty scary floor. I mean, Kyle Pitts, Denny, that was the scariest. I might just overrule any conversation and say there's no one with a scarier floor.
Yeah, I think that's right. Can I make a case for Isaiah Likely having a scary floor?
No, you can't, because it's not as scary as Kyle Pitts. You earned that one.
That's devastating. That one. By the way, Matt Wood says everyone knows Ernie Hudson. Come on, man. Come on.
No,
like nobody knows that.
Matt's lost in the sauce. And again, I got to give my weekly shout out to the Randomizer production team and writers room, spearheaded by Matt Wood and Lou. Those guys do awesome work helping me with all of these, the prompts, the images, all of that. So as usual, shout out to the Randomizer production team. Denny, what else do you got going on this summer? Any Greek trips? Any trips to the beach? You going to come up to New England again? We need to do that again soon.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that the other day. When was that? Was that summer 2022? I think.
Yeah,
it sounds right. That was so much fun.
Pre-COVID. There was pre-COVID, right?
No. It was post.
Oh, you're right. It was post.
It was like one of the first things I did after COVID, and it was so much fun. Both because it was just a fun trip, but also we got out of the house and got to spend time with fun adults. We're going to the beach in North Carolina this year.
Nice.
I'm trying to plan a thing where I see a guy named JJ Zacharyson.
Heard of him?
I've
heard of him. He's tough to pin down. Apparently, you have to go through David Kitchen now to just even communicate with him.
He did direct me. He said, "Text David and get back."
Yeah, my assistant will take care of it. All right, let's get to this prompt. Another multimedia one. This is called Grill or Grill. Denny must determine whether images are of a barbecue grill or a decorative tooth covering. If you get 3 of 5 right, you can draft whoever or draft a future hip hopper, someone who's going to be out of the league and performing hip hop. So here's our first one, Denny. Is this a barbecue grill or a grill mouthpiece?
It's a barbecue grill.
That is correct. Some tinfoil shot there. Here's number 2. Is this a grill or a grill? Which grill?
Yeah, that's a grill in the mouth.
Yeah, that one fairly easy there.
Yeah, there you go.
The shot. Here's number 3. Let's see if these can get harder. This one's a little harder. Barbecue grill or mouthpiece grill?
I'm gonna go with barbecue grill.
No, incorrect here. And I also shout out to Lou for highlighting the portion there of the in orange of where the screenshot came from.
It looks so uncomfortable. God.
You still can get 2 or 1 more following 2 right.
Barbecue.
This is number 4. Correct. Okay. Another little I don't know, kind of freezer wrap setup here.
Looks good.
It does. Better than chickpeas. Sorry. Last one here. Grill or grill?
It's a grill in the mouth.
Yeah, you were pretty good. 4 of 5 on the grill. Pretty good. And I just hope that Matthew and Lou don't show up on a watch list for their Google Images service. Denny, I do want to let you know we still have Cam Ward in the queue right now. I just want to let that go. Jalen Knoll, Adam Thielen, Braylon Allen, Wan'Dale Robinson. Anything jump out to you?
Can we just let's go with Cam and just be done with it.
Let's just be done
with quarterback.
And you know what? Shout out to the Star Method. We never would have remembered to take Cam Ward on that pick had he not just been sitting in the queue this whole time.
Oh man, I actually had a more devastating pick than McCarthy, like an auto pick. I think it actually was Ferguson, and it was like in round 6 or something. It was just awful.
Is your username? Is it obvious? Is it like Denny Carter or CD Carter 13?
It's CD Carter, yeah.
Do you get hit up of us like because if I have something like that happen to me, like I'm gonna get someone. It's just like I can never be in the draft with just complete strangers. It'll be one person hit me up on Discord being like, "You really like Jake Ferguson, huh?" Like, no, I fucking auto drafted it on accident.
That's so good. We're like, whoa, Pete claims to be an expert. Yeah, he took Jake Ferguson 7 rounds before ADP.
Didn't know that Jake Ferguson turned into Brock Bowers overnight.
That's so annoying. Oh my god.
That hasn't even happened to me in years, but I have dialed in to what this hypothetical straw man.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm as nearly as well known in the best ball streets as you. So I haven't gotten that. Thankfully.
Okay, let's spin again here. We got a few more rounds. Denny Carter from NBC Bad Faith Times joining us on the randomizer. Let's see what we get. Okay. This is the second leg of the deck. How big is it? Denny is known for his deck size, which we've already seen today. He and Pete take turns giving increasingly perverse descriptions for the size of Denny's deck. First to stall loses, winner makes the pick. I guess I'll start, Denny. I'll ask: is your deck, is it a grower or a shower?
It's it's a grow. I would say it was a shower mostly. And honestly, a lot of people have said like it's too big. Like
It's too big.
Yeah, like I get it, but no one really wants a deck that big.
Well, and I mean, have any women ever come over and said like, honestly, the size of the deck doesn't matter to them, and everyone's kind of a little skeptical about it?
I mean, they say it, but you can tell they're lying. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Has anyone ever said, is that really your deck, or are you just happy to see me?
Most people do. Most people when they come over, including my family members, and it's just awkward. Yeah.
We're about to time out. Instead of, you know what, timing out on DeCarry Collins would have been hilarious. But I felt like we honored that prompt. So
I think we did.
Allen.
I think we did. Yeah. Let's get Braylon Allen. All the Jets talk about is Braylon Allen.
And also, I got to give a shout out to the chat who is already on top of this earlier. The girthy deck, the deck flexing on us, the double decker. So we did it. Okay.
We did it.
DeCarry Collins.
Hey, how are we looking at tight end? Can you show me that?
Well, you have Sam Laporta and you have Kyle Pitts. So if this was 2024, you would be looking real good.
Oh, how about we queue up Okonkwo?
Okay. All right. I like this.
Yeah, let's get that going. Let's get that trending.
Is this I'm starting to, you are a big star method guy. You like to make sure you got all your ducks in a row before the draft continues.
I guess I do. Do you not? You don't do that?
I don't use, for a couple reasons. Generally, when I'm streaming, it's like a billboard for people to snipe me on the players I want.
Oh, right.
And honestly, I'm afraid of the dynamic of the star method. I know the pitfalls, the downsides. This is called Can. Right. Denny retrieves 2 cans of chickpeas or drafts a tight end 2.
I'll be right back.
This is just a layup. I mean, this man just delivered a speech on behalf of the Chickpea Council or whatever. I'd like to envision Denny's garage is just like a wall of chickpeas. Yeah, how many cans of chickpeas can you get, from a Costco? Would it be a bushel? It's like, Denny, hey, Denny, can you just run to the store, pick up some milk? Comes home with the milk, the eggs, and another bushel of chickpeas.
Oh,
two cans. Wow. Let's get the fit. Okay. What is that Stop and Shop brand?
Yeah, it's Giant Food.
Giant Food. Okay.
Yeah, which is a local chain of not restaurants, but grocery stores. Yeah, these are two of 7 that I have in my pantry right now.
Okay, just 7. It seems like you're maybe not fully prepared for the grid going down with your chickpeas.
No, you're right. You're right. And for $1 a piece, you can buy as many as you want.
Is this true? I was wondering if you could get like a shit ton at Costco. Brandon says Costco doesn't have chickpeas.
I did not find them. We recently have done the Costco thing, and which is horrible, by the way. I mean, I like Costco. I like the idea of it and the savings, but people are basically animals in Costco. Like it's a war of all against all. Okay, we're up. So,
do you want to take Chig here? You want to maybe grab a running back before Chig? How do you want to play this?
He's at 200, and we're
picking at 186.
Yeah, let's. Oh shoot. Let's
Jalen Wright, Justice Hill, Jarquez Hunter.
Jalen Wright. Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, you want a handcuff? Denny's a handcucker.
I'm not. I just remembered. I just remembered. I have H-hand, and I forgot. So anyway, we got it locked up. We got the Miami backfield locked up.
Yeah, just spin zone this. Be like, 2 years ago was drafting Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane on the same team handcucking, or did they both crush their ADPs, Pete? That's all you have to say.
It's a good point. It's a valid point by that sniveling best baller.
That's how you know you've been on the internet too long, when you're just ready to steel man even your own takes just that quickly.
Yeah, right.
Like, I know all the counterpoints.
Yeah, right, exactly. I know why this is bad. I know
but
why.
I'm still gonna do it.
Why what I'm doing is bad, but here it is.
I had another chickpea follow up. Have you gotten really efficient at using a can opener with that hobby?
Yeah. So make all the jokes you want, but I feel like my forearm has gotten a little stronger. I don't know. You can see it. You see the muscles rippling in there, and that's because I'm just crushing that. You know that kind of chickpeas every day, like bang, 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 bang. I'm a machine. Yeah, getting those things open.
And it's, you think of all the betas in America, they're just opening a bag to get their snack or whatever. I mean, you actually have to put some blood, sweat, and tears into getting to those peas.
Often tears. You would be surprised at how often there are tears when I'm opening the can.
All right. This prompt is beautifully named Bad Faith Dimes. Put Daniel Jones in the queue until the next pick. Denny must argue in bad faith why Danny Dimes will lead the league in fantasy points in 2025. Me, as Elon Musk, decides whether he accepts the argument or drafts Danny Dimes or the player of Denny's choice. To beat Elon, I'm going to put these glasses on and just pretend like I'm just juiced up on ketamine right now.
There you go. Okay. So am I asking Grok? So I'm sorry. The thing is, I'm going to argue that Daniel Jones is going to be the QB1.
Lead the league. Yeah, he's going to be the QB1. I need the case from Bad Faith Denny here.
So you don't like a quarterback who regularly broke into the open field as a starter and was seen sprinting with no one near him for just an amazing amount of rushing production. I guess
is he even going to be the starting quarterback on his own team?
But I mean, there's only one good running quarterback for the Colts, and it's not Anthony Richardson. So
who's he going to throw the ball to?
I mean, so you don't like the best combination of receivers in the league, and Michael Pittman and Josh Downs. That's weird to me. I like the most elite combination of receivers in the NFL myself.
Well, over with Doge, we've actually been trying to get rid of the excess tight ends on the Colts roster. It's been one of our primary.
Well, I support that actually, so thank you. All right, who are we picking?
You want to take Chig?
Yeah, Chig.
All right, Chig it is.
That was good. We did good.
We did good. We got a 3-5-6-3. Denny, I will say, other than your Kyle Pitts, that's the one prompt that you haven't succeeded at. But otherwise, you got this. We'll recap the team after this last pick. But I just want to say you're doing good, man.
Thanks.
Doing good.
Yeah, I like the Tennessee stack. That could come back to bite me, but we'll see.
Yes. Man, I kind of wanted to force a prompt because we had you know what? I'm gonna overrule this, because I really want to do this last prompt, and I realize that this is, destroying the integrity of this show, which is randomized prompts. But I want to do this one because there's multimedia and it's fun. This is called JJ to JJ. Denny must identify whether photos are of his Living the Stream co-host or of Vikings JJ. If you get 3 of 5 correct, you could draft whoever. Otherwise, you got to draft Jamar Jefferson. So let's get JJ or JJ going. Here is the first clue.
Okay. Listen, I'm glad that you have compromised the integrity of the show for this, because this is good.
This is really good.
That is JJ Zacharyson.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. Proof here from the Reddit AMA. We got the hair coming out from the white dad hat. Number 2, is this JJ your co-host or a Vikings JJ?
They both have really strong hairlines, so this is tough. It's Zacharyson.
Man, that is good. Yes, another. Right. How many AMAs is this guy doing?
He does a lot. Yeah, look at that beard, man. That's Flacco beard right there.
Okay, number 3, is this JJ from Living the Stream or the Vikings?
I've never been more confident in saying that is JJ from the Vikings.
Wow, you are so good. JJ McCarthy there, although this shot looks like from when he was playing high school football.
High school football in 90210.
Yes. It reminds me of, remember that clip that went viral from the movie? It was like
with Tom Everett Scott.
Yes, with the guy who had the awful throwing motion.
Yeah. And actually we talked to Tom about it on Living the Stream, and he was like, you don't understand how close the camera is. And it's actually terrifying to throw a ball with the camera right there in front of you.
I bet.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more, JJ or JJ.
Oh,
This one's
God.
tougher.
That it? I mean, it's literally. That's McCarthy. That's McCarthyism.
This is actually you're correct in that it was a Viking, though. A little shot of the beanie there to throw you off. And final one, your co-host or a Minnesota Viking.
The hair is too long to be Zacharyson. We're going with McCarthy.
Dude, this guy knows his co-host.
There
Look
we
at
go.
that.
There
Wow.
we go.
This one would have been a good one, I think, to do first, because it's just like it matches that.
Yeah.
But you know your co-host down to the.
I know his hair. I know. I've spent a long time looking at JJ Zacharyson's hair. So.
All right, Denny, final pick in this randomizer draft. You got a 3, 5, 6, 3. What do you want? Maybe a wide receiver here?
Yeah, definitely. Who? Oh God.
Do you like Ayamanor stacked up with Cam Ward?
Oh, yeah. That guy. Alec.
Okay.
Alec. I know him personally. Actually, I heard the Titans receiver coach the other day talk about this guy, Alec Ayamanor. Is that how you say it? Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. I just try to say it with confidence and hope.
Io Maynor, maybe. Anyway, the coach clearly had never heard of him, and he was just trying to. He was like, he's solid. He's a good kid, fast kid, has strong hands. Like no clue what he's talking about.
Exactly. I mean, how would anyone be responsible for keeping track of every wide receiver on the Titans?
I know.
I can only name like 2.
Listen, if the Titans stat goes off, we're looking good. Here.
We are looking good. Let's see. I'm going to recap this team. Get your final thoughts here. 3, 5, 7, 3. Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, Cam Ward. Let the record show you have Caleb Williams double stacked with Rome Odunze and
Luther.
Or was it just Rome Odunze and Luther Burden?
Yeah, Luther Burden.
And Luther Burden. Yes, you have Jared Goff stacked with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams. You have Cam Ward
and Laporta.
Oh, yeah, and Laporta. And then you have Chig and Ayamanor stacked up with Cam Ward.
And Ridley.
I completely forgot about
Come on, Pete.
This is just a stacking masterclass here. Also, Devontae Adams famously plays Kyle Pitts in Week 17. A little mini correlation there.
That's funny. Wow. You never know.
You never know. So the rest of the team outside of the stack: Caleb, Goff, Ward, Gibbs, Achane, Tank Bigsby, Braylon Allen, Jalen Wright, Adams, Jamo, Ridley, Rome, Burden, Turpin, Ayamanor, Laporta, Pitts, and Chig. This is a randomizer masterpiece right here.
I feel good about it. And thank you, everybody, for contributing. So, Pete, do you get all of the prompts from people or from their producers, or where do they come from?
It's a mix because we get, Matthew, I got to shout out Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Putting the prompts on his back, but we get some from Twitter. We got some from Blue Sky. We get some from the Google form for the Discord members. So we pick and choose.
Cool. Well, I appreciate everybody who contributed today. That was really fun, and it was doable. It was doable. Like you had me running outside. You had me retrieving stuff. I have a pile of stuff I have to put away before my wife gets home because she's going to think I'm crazy. Thank you.
Also, I think what people really want to see, though, is actually, this wasn't your team. What was this from? Oh, this was the team I auto drafted, I believe. And the other, where's it? No, this is the Denny Carter team. Okay, here's the Denny Carter team. I auto drafted this team while we were on stream, a 4-4-7-3 build. That's what happened to make sure that that all the good people could draft with us.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But Denny, it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
As always, let the people know, obviously, Roto World, Bad Faith Times, where can people check you out?
Yeah. I'm posting on Blue Sky. And yeah, you can find all my work at Roto World. I have a new piece up today. Also, the Roto World football show is a lot of fun. I do that with Pat Doherty and Kyle Dvorak on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We take a little bit of a break at times in the summer, but we will be going strong when training camp rolls around. So check that out.
Beautiful. Thank you to everyone hanging out in the chat today. Thank you to Pat Moore Poker for being my guest on Best Ball Bash and drafting a fun team. Appreciate all you guys that are YouTube members on the channel. We'll be running this back next week. I have yet to fully confirm my guest for next week, so I don't want to promise that yet for Randomizer, but one of you guys will be drafting a team with me on Best Ball Bash. Otherwise, have a great rest of your week, and we will see you guys next time on the Bash. Peace out.